So, you know how in heist movies there's always a team of super smart thieves trying to break into an unbreakable vault? Well, the internet is kind of like the world's biggest vault, and it's filled with something way more valuable than gold or diamonds: your personal information. And just like in the movies, there are teams of digital thieves or hackers constantly trying to find new ways to break in. It sounds scary, and it can be, but just like a bank has security guards and cameras, you can have your own digital security system. And the first step to building that system is knowing what you're up against. Today, we're breaking down the 5 most common cyber attacks in simple terms. We're going to peel back the curtain on how these digital heists actually work. Not with a bunch of confusing jargon, but with real-world examples that you can actually understand. Think of me as your friendly neighborhood security consultant, here to give you the inside scoop on the bad guys' playbook, because once you understand their tricks, they become a lot less intimidating and a lot easier to spot. And that's the whole point of this video. Understanding these can help you stay safe online. It's about turning you from a potential target into a well-informed, hard-to-trick digital citizen. By the end of this, you'll have the knowledge to protect your accounts, your money, and your identity from these invisible thieves. So grab your thinking caps, because class is officially in session. Let's get into it. Alright, first up is the most common and oldest trick in the book: phishing. And yes, it's spelled with a PH, like a phone, but it works exactly like phishing. Imagine a fisherman casting a line with some juicy bait, hoping a fish will bite. In the digital world, hackers are the fishermen, you're the fish, and their bait is a fake email, text message, or social media post. They're trying to lure you into giving up your personal information, like your passwords or credit card numbers. Think about it this way. You get an email that looks like it's from your bank. The logo is right, the colors are perfect, and it says something urgent like, "Suspicious activity detected. Click here to verify your account immediately." Your heart might skip a beat. You're worried, so you click the link without thinking. That link takes you to a website that looks exactly like your bank's login page. But here's the catch. It's a perfect replica, a movie set designed to fool you. When you type in your username and password, you're not logging into your bank, you're handing your keys directly to the thief. So how do you spot these fakes? You have to become a detective. First, check the sender's email address. Hackers are clever, but they often make small mistakes. Instead of support@yourbank.com, it might say support@your-bank-security.com, or have a typo like support@yourbank.com. Second, hover your mouse over the link before you click it. A little box will pop up showing the actual web address it will take you to. If the link in the email says yourbank.com/login, but the preview shows totally-legit-site-trust-us.ru, it's a trap. Finally, just remember that legitimate companies will almost never ask you to provide sensitive information through an email link. They know how dangerous that is. If you get an urgent email from your bank, your best bet is to close the email, open a new browser window, and type in the bank's official website address yourself. Or even better, call the customer service number on the back of your card. It's a tiny bit more work, but it's like putting a high-tech lock on your digital front door. Next on our list is malware, which is short for malicious software. This is a big one, folks. Think of your computer or phone as your house. You've got doors and windows, and you try to keep them locked to keep bad guys out. Malware is like a sneaky intruder that finds a way to slip inside without you knowing it. It could be a virus, a Trojan horse, or spyware, but they all have one thing in common. They're software designed to cause chaos and damage once they're inside your digital home. So how does this uninvited guest get in? Well, it can be attached to a phishing email like we just talked about. You click a link or download an attachment that you think is a funny cat video or an important invoice. But secretly, it's installing malware in the background. It can also hide in free software you download from sketchy websites. You think you're getting a cool new game or a useful program for free, but you're actually downloading a Trojan horse, a program that looks harmless on the outside, but is hiding malicious code on the inside, just like the giant wooden horse from Greek mythology. Once inside your device, malware can do all sorts of nasty things. A virus might corrupt your files, making your photos and documents unreadable. Spyware, as the name suggests, is designed to spy on you. It can record every single thing you type, including your passwords and credit card numbers, and send that information back to the hacker. It's like having a hidden camera and microphone in your room that records your every move and conversation, which is super creepy, right? The best way to keep these digital pests out is with a combination of good habits and good tools. First, have a good antivirus program installed on your devices and keep it updated. Think of it as your 24/7 digital security guard. Second, be incredibly careful about what you download and where you download it from. Stick to official app stores and trusted websites. And finally, keep your operating system and your apps updated. Those updates often contain security patches that fix the unlocked windows the hackers were trying to sneak through. Okay, let's move on to something that affects the big guys. The DDoS attack. This stands for Distributed Denial of Service. Now this one's a little different because it's usually not aimed at you as an individual. Instead, it's aimed at a website or an online service like a gaming server, a news site, or an online store. The goal isn't to steal information but to simply shut the service down by overwhelming it. It's the digital equivalent of a massive, coordinated protest that blocks all the roads leading to a superstore on Black Friday. Here's how it works. Imagine a single person trying to visit a website. They send a request and the website's server sends the web page back. Easy, right? The server can handle thousands of these requests at once. But in a DDoS attack, a hacker uses a network of thousands, sometimes even millions of infected computers, called a botnet, to all send requests to that one website at the exact same time. These computers are often regular home computers that have been infected with malware without their owners even knowing it. They've become zombie computers, controlled by the hacker. The website's server is suddenly hit with millions of requests per second. It's like trying to pour the entire ocean through a garden hose. The server gets completely overwhelmed. It can't tell the difference between a real visitor and a fake request from the botnet, so it tries to respond to all of them. Eventually it just can't keep up and crashes, or becomes so slow that it's unusable for legitimate visitors like you and me. If you've ever tried to play your favorite online game and couldn't connect to the servers, or tried to visit a website and it just wouldn't load, there's a chance it was because of a DDoS attack. For the company being attacked, this can be a disaster. It can cost them millions in lost sales and damage their reputation. While you can't stop a DDoS attack yourself, understanding what it is helps explain why your favorite services sometimes go offline for seemingly no reason. It's a brute force attack on a massive scale. This next one is one of the scariest and most destructive types of attacks: ransomware. The name pretty much says it all. It's a type of malware that, once it gets onto your computer, acts like a digital kidnapper. But instead of kidnapping a person, it kidnaps your data. It goes through your entire hard drive, your photos, your documents, your videos, your work projects, and encrypts them, scrambling them into a jumbled mess of unreadable code. You can still see the file names, but you can't open them. Then comes the ransom note. A message will pop up on your screen, often with a menacing skull and crossbones and a ticking clock. The message will say something like, "Your files have been encrypted. To get them back, you must pay a ransom of $1,000 in Bitcoin within 72 hours. If you don't pay, your files will be deleted forever." It's pure digital extortion. They're holding your precious memories and important work hostage, and they're demanding money to give you the key to unlock them. The really nasty part is that they almost always demand payment in a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, because it's much harder to trace than a bank transfer or credit card payment. This makes it incredibly difficult for law enforcement to track down the criminals. For the victim, it's a horrible situation. You pay the ransom and hope the criminals are honorable enough to give you the decryption key? Sometimes they do, and sometimes they just take the money and disappear, leaving your files locked forever. The best defense against ransomware is a good offense, and that means backups, backups, backups. If you have a recent backup of all your important files stored on a separate external hard drive or on a cloud service, then the ransomware attack loses all its power. If a hacker encrypts your computer, you can simply tell them to get lost, wipe your computer clean, reinstall your operating system, and then restore all your files from your backup. It's an inconvenience for sure, but it's way better than losing everything or paying a criminal. Last but not least, let's talk about the man-in-the-middle attack. This sounds like something out of a spy movie, and honestly, it kind of is. Imagine you're writing a secret letter to a friend and handing it to a mailman to deliver, but this mailman is secretly a spy. He takes your letter, opens it, reads it, maybe even changes some of the words, then reseals it and delivers it to your friend. Neither you nor your friend knows that your private conversation has been intercepted. That's a man-in-the-middle attack. This most commonly happens when you're using public Wi-Fi, like at a coffee shop, an airport, or a hotel. These networks are often unsecured, making them a perfect hunting ground for hackers. A hacker can set up their own Wi-Fi hotspot with a very convincing name like free_airport_Wi-Fi or coffee shop_guest. You, thinking you're connecting to the legitimate network, connect to the hacker's hotspot instead. Now, every single piece of information you send from your device, the websites you visit, the usernames and passwords you type, the messages you send, passes directly through the hacker's computer. They become the man in the middle between you and the internet. They can see everything. If you log into your email, they can steal your password. If you do some online shopping, they can grab your credit card number. They are essentially looking over your shoulder at everything you do online, but you can't see them. It's a huge invasion of privacy and a massive security risk, and most people have no idea when it's happening to them. So how do you protect yourself from these digital eavesdroppers? First, be extremely suspicious of public Wi-Fi. If you absolutely have to use it, avoid doing anything sensitive like online banking or shopping. Save that for your secure home network. Second, look for the little padlock icon and HTTPS in your browser's address bar. This means your connection to that specific website is encrypted, making it much harder for a man in the middle to read your data. And for the best possible protection, use a VPN or virtual private network. A VPN creates a secure encrypted tunnel for all your internet traffic, even on public Wi-Fi, making you practically invisible to any spies. And there you have it, the top 5 cyber attacks demystified. From the sneaky lures of phishing to the digital hostage-taking of ransomware, we've seen that hackers have a lot of tricks up their sleeves. But the good news is that none of these tricks are magic. They all rely on exploiting our trust, our curiosity, or our lack of knowledge. Now that you know their playbook, you've already built the most important part of your defense system awareness. You know what to look for, what to be suspicious of, and how to react. The digital world can feel like the Wild West sometimes, but you don't have to be a helpless bystander. By being a little more cautious, keeping your software updated, and using strong, unique passwords, you can make yourself a much harder target. Remember, the goal isn't to be unbreakable. It's to be more trouble than you're worth to a hacker. They're looking for easy targets, and today, you stop being one. Stay alert and protect yourself online. You are the first and last line of defense for your own digital life. This was just a quick flyover of a huge topic, and I know there's a lot more we could cover for each of these, so I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments if you want a deep dive into any of these attacks. We could do a whole video on just spotting phishing emails or the best way to back up your data. Your feedback helps me make videos that you actually find useful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.